if they carry on doing what they've done, they're now going to make a load more for the coming months and years. Hello and welcome again. This is Gordon on Pricing for Profit. And if you're watching through this, you're probably thinking, why is he telling us all of this? Why is he building a rationale of why pricing for profit is good and what holds people back? The reason is, too often you will get people who feel that it's something they're doing wrong that's stopping them get the pricing they want, stopping them getting the profit they want. And it's absolutely nothing of the sort. And the reason I give these examples are these reasons why people sometimes don't do what they need to do, in my humble opinion, having worked with thousands of businesses over 40 years, 4 decades, goodness me, makes me feel oldish. But it's because if you didn't realize that these are common things that that many business owners like you have felt the same way before, have come across the same problems before, you're going to think, well, it's only me, I can't do anything about it because I don't want to raise my hand and go, oh, it was me, I didn't know the answer, like we had at school. And depending on who your teachers were at school and how good they were, they would, I know when I was at school, I didn't really want to put my hand up and ask a question for fear of feeling silly. And it's taken me many years of continuous training of my new mentors, my properly well-trained mentors, to explain to me there's no dumb questions, there are only unasked dumb questions. The ones that don't get asked are the ones that are silly because you're not picking up on it. And what I also learned was when I asked a question, other people in the room would come up to me later on and go, I'm glad you asked that question, I was thinking the same thing. But they weren't willing to put their hand up and stand out for fear of looking silly. I suppose one could say, I don't mind looking silly, and largely I don't, and haven't done for probably about 20 years now, because I just feel if I want to know something, I'm paying for the training, I'm paying for the advice, I'm paying for the consulting or mentorship, I want the answers, I want the value, whether it makes me look silly or not. And 99.99% of the time, if not 100% of the time, I don't look silly. Other people would have asked the same question had they had the gumption to do that, and they all learned from the answer. So that's why I go through it, and I just want you to understand that you're not alone, in this. So take solace. Remember yesterday, we're coming back to now the subject at hand, we were talking about PCPOV, right? And we covered the P, which was positioning. We covered the C, which is confidence. Today we're going to be covering POV. And I'm going to start off with the O first. And the O stands for offer, the offer. And how we put the offer forward can make a big difference to not only our confidence in pricing, but also our success in getting a higher price. And the offer, I could spend probably 2 days, 3 days on training on the offer, but let me just boil it down into a couple of minutes. You need to relate the offer to what they want, okay? Not necessarily what they need, but what they want. So when clients come to you, they will have a want in mind. You may realize that want isn't really what they need because you know that subject at a deeper level. But if you don't first give them what they want, you're out of the question, right? So if you first need to give them what they want and then explain how that will then help them on the process of getting what they need and how you can help them with that second step and build that argument. The second thing about an offer is you've got to make an emotional case. If you haven't come across this before, there have been many scientific studies that demonstrate that buying decisions, along with many others, buying decisions are first made emotionally and justified logically. I know when it was first told to me, I was thinking, oh no, that can't be right. And when I thought about the last 2 or 3 purchases I'd made, maybe a car or a laptop or whatever, I'd made the decision emotionally. I really wanted it. And then I sort of built a case, a logical case to and I'm an accountant, goodness me, I should know better, right? But as human beings, we typically will do that. We'll buy because of an emotional reason, and then we will build the logic around it. And if you think of habits like stopping smoking, a lot of we sort of try to give ourselves logical reasons why we carry on smoking. I gave up, 40 years ago nearly, and over 40 years ago, in fact. And I would build all sorts of reasons why it was okay for me to smoke. Oh, it's been a stressful day, or I haven't had anything to eat, or I'm really tired, but I can't be bothered, or I'm just about to go into the meeting, I need one, I'm just having a coffee. There's all sorts of logical, but emotionally I just wanted to justify the fact that I was still smoking, and I had that habit, which was a poor habit to have. So keep that in mind. You've got to make an emotional case as well as a logical case. If you miss out on either one, you're going to lose out on sales. And the other thing, of course, is to really give them a vision of what it's going to be like in the future, all right, having bought your product or service. So let me put some flesh on that, if I may. We've been going for a while, so I don't want to go too long. But if I give you an idea of the offer that we make, is we explain that they want to increase profits, and they've tried for 4, 5, 6 years, everything they know, and the profits haven't risen. So having exhausted what they know, it's time to exhaust what I know. But I don't want them, and they don't want to make a bad decision. So I guarantee that we will give them a result and a return on investment for the money they spend with us. So that, first of all, reduces the risk in their mind and reduces the emotional attachment to what if it doesn't go wrong? What if I make a bad decision? I'm going to look silly. I'm going to waste money. We sort of get rid of all of that with a guarantee. The second thing we do is we sort of say, look, if you make a decision now, you can have a small discount, because we want to encourage decision makers. Now, the important thing about that for us is that when we, in business, we need decisions. Decisions will move a business, and no decisions will halt a business in its tracks. So I want to incentivize them to begin to start making decisions quickly, because a lot of the decisions we're going to be making together as a client will be on low risk things that we can experiment with to find out what works, pricing being one of them. Okay, so the offer is really put in a way that reduces risk, makes it more appealing. And then we also explain, look, once you've done this, once you've achieved this, you are going to have a business that's going to be more profitable. You're going to have more time on your hands to either work in your business to earn even more, or more time with your family, or your hobbies, or holidays, or your friends, or your kids, whatever it is for you. So we build that future vision of what it's going to be like having got our service and got the benefits of our service, what it's going to be like getting unstuck. And so all of that is important for the offer. So the next thing in our PCPOV, I want to just talk about the pitch, right? And the pitch is how you deliver it, and the pitch needs to be structured really well. You need to first build rapport. You need them to understand you're just like them. You're not anything special. You've been where they are. You understand how they feel. You understand how they're thinking about the risk of taking this next action, all of that type of stuff. And then you go through a process of explaining, identifying what they want, making sure you relate that what they want is in fact what you can deliver. If it isn't, don't try to sell them what you've got and try to make it fit in the round hole into the square peg, square peg into round hole. Don't try to do that. That just erodes the chance of getting a higher price. And then the pitch then ends up with the call to action. Look, would you like to go ahead now, or would you not? Right? If you'd like to go ahead now, I've got a special deal for people who make decisions on the spot. But there's no pressure on it. If you don't want to make a decision on the spot, then by all means go away, talk it over, think about it, mull it over. Don't leave it too long, because people who leave it more than a few days, they never come back to it, because life gets in the way, and all of a sudden they've forgotten how important this discussion was, like you told me, and then it gets left behind, right? So that's the V, and then of course we have the offer we've done, and the last thing I want to cover is the value. Make sure the value is stacked up. Make sure you're delivering at least a 100% return on investment, which means if they invest $10,000 or pounds with you, they're going to get that money back plus maybe £10,000 or dollars, right? If it's a very short term and you can't guarantee they're going to make a 100% return on investment, at least get them their money back, with the view that if they carry on doing what they've done, they're now going to make a load more for the coming months and years, applying what they've learned in a short period. If it's a longer period, then you need to make sure you're giving great value. So whatever your service or product is, make sure you do that. But also make sure you give them certainty. People are really after certainty. They're after knowing that they're going to get a result. That's why we offer guarantees. That's why we offer them the roadmap, and we show them all the stages we're going to go through our time together. If it's a short time, we may only be able to go through all the stages once. If it's a longer period, we may get the chance to go through all the stages 4 times or 6 times, depending on how small the business is and how quickly the owner wants to get through them. So all of that comes part and parcel of adding value to the client, giving them certainty, and then offering the guarantee seals in that value for them. Hopefully that makes sense. I hope you enjoyed this thing on pricing. If you'd like to have a chat with me on anything we do in terms of helping businesses get to a more profitable business with more free time, then just book a call, just get in touch. Stay tuned to all the other stuff we do. Hoping you're enjoying this Pricing for Profit series. It is close to my heart. I love making these videos for you. Hopefully you're getting as much out of them as I am delivering them. All the best. This is Gordon wishing you well. Don't forget, book a call and let's have a chat. 10 minutes, who knows? We may discover some cool things for you and your business that you could use. Take care. Bye-bye. So don't forget to subscribe and never miss another video on the subject of improving your business from me. You know it's gold, you know it's all with the right focus in mind that you can improve your business. Take care, see you soon, bye-bye.